aluminum castings started gaining popularity after Second World War. Unlike cast iron, aluminum industry is quite young.
What are some general trends you're seeing in aluminum today?
We are sitting on a rocket. It's about to get fired. Aluminum industry is growing at least twice the acceleration of ferrous industry. The first misconception about aluminum is that. Second misconception is that aluminum casting is. One should really think of starting a new aluminum foundry.
If a Ferrous Foundry decides to switch, how do they go through that process?
So my advice or my suggestion to everybody who wishes to come to aluminum casting industry is that
Experts will tell you that half the secret to making good aluminum castings is finding the right fluxes. Across 50 countries, primary smelters, die casters, and extrusion plants all trust Scottish chemical industry's granulated fluxes. Traditional powdered fluxes have three inherent disadvantages. The first one being dusting during use. The second, inconsistent efficiency of the powder. The third, the toxic fumes posing a health hazard to all the employees around. All three of these can be solved by using granulated fluxes instead. If you're in the aluminum casting business and would like to explore more, you can reach out to Mr. Samir Ghosh or Mr. Rishabh Khandelwal through the numbers in the description. If you'd like to look at all their products on offer, you can go to www.scottishchemical.com. And now, let's get back to the episode. This one is going to be purely on aluminum.
yeah,
Busting the myths on aluminum, right?
really.
Right, real myths on aluminum. And we have a lot of questions to cover today. So it's a very long episode. Sit tight, relax. If you're a Ferrous Foundry, thinking of switching to aluminum, this episode will work for you. If you're an aluminum foundry, looking at what the newest trends are, where the technology is going, this episode will work for you. And if you're just an enthusiast in the foundry industry, this episode will also be entertaining. So it caters to all audiences. So sit tight and let's get started.
Good.
Anant, welcome back.
Welcome.
Welcome back. Thank you for inviting us to your
Yes.
home. Right, it's nice to be here in Pune, in the heart of the city, plus having a very, very nice sort of scenery around. Serenity, of course, very quiet.
Indeed.
So let's get started. So everybody knows you from various, whether it's some seminars, whether it's lectures, whether it's online webinars. But I think when you told me your background, that sort of gave me an understanding of what exactly, how you got your start in the industry. And I think it's really important to be sharing. So walk us through the day and all the way back from your dad.
Actually, foundry is in my blood, I told you in the first episode itself.
Right.
And the senior generation, wherever I go in India, when I tell them that my name is Bam, Anant Bam, chaplet wala Bam?
Okay.
Is that you?
That famous?
Yes. So my father made chaplets way back in 1956. He started making it then. And he was supplying to virtually from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Bharuch to Kolkata.
Right.
So across India, we were supplying that. After my graduation, I joined the same family business. We are three brothers. But unfortunately, during the recession of 97-98,
Okay.
all three brothers in the same line was not a wise decision. So we took a family meeting, and that time I was the youngest. Even today I am the youngest.
Was there violence at that meeting?
No.
You all guys like
was
to sit down and decide properly.
Yeah. It was a well-planned, well-organized meeting of the family.
Right.
And it was decided that I should move ahead with something new.
Okay, of your own.
Of my own.
Okay.
And that's how I started my own non-ferrous foundry. A very tiny affair. The largest area which my foundry occupied was 1,000 square feet.
Okay.
And
About the size of this room, roughly.
yeah, slightly bigger than this.
Right. Right.
And at its peak, I had 7 workers and myself the 8th one.
Right.
And we could produce about 14 to 15 tons of all non-ferrous metals.
That's something I really couldn't understand,
month.
because when you told me you were doing 14 tons in a 1,000 square foot area,
Yes.
the productivity was huge.
Yes,
For the amount of area that you had, and this would have been one shift,
yes, 8 to 10 hours.
how is it possible?
It is. Because I was doing sand casting, I was doing gravity die casting in aluminum as well as bronzes.
Right.
So there are very few foundries which were doing die casting of bronzes in those days.
Right.
And that gave me the productivity. in maybe about 30 seconds, your 1.5 kg piece is out.
Correct. You know, there's a really funny thing that you just said. You said 14 tons, 15 tons.
Yes.
For an aluminum foundry, that would have been huge back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, today
Since it was a mix of bronze and aluminum, that's why the
it was pretty
tonnage
substantial.
was good.
Pretty
Yes.
substantial. But today, since we're surrounded by Ferrous Foundries largely, and if somebody were to ask you how many tons you make,
Yes.
they always say how many tons you make, right? And they're expecting 300 tons, 500 tons.
Correct.
And you tell them I'm making 10 tons of aluminum proudly.
See, that's because of the value addition in
Value
it.
addition, correct.
And in not all the castings you get that kind of value addition.
Correct. Correct.
I tell you a small example. I did some niche items for my client. Means after I closed my foundry,
Correct.
I started consulting.
Correct.
And I'm into consultation since 2005. And I closed my foundry when my consultation earnings exceeded my foundry earnings.
Okay.
So that decision I took in 2008.
Okay. But before we go to this, the consultancy part, how did you get the capital to get started? How did you get the orders?
See, capital I had because I inherit a business.
Right.
So we had capital,
Right.
space was rented, and I just started doing it. And slowly, within about 2 to 3 months, I could get sustainable load.
You were how old at the time?
At that time, I was about 28 years old.
28. So ready to take on the world,
Yes.
filled with optimism. That's nice. Yeah, I think that's also a message to anybody maybe who's
Indeed.
watching.
Right after my graduation, I joined my father's business.
Right.
So I am into business. We are into business before my birth.
Right.
It's not a very big business. It's a
Correct.
family-owned small entity.
Right.
And a very small business, but that keeps us busy. That keeps us happy.
Right.
And so was my foundry. It was also a tiny affair. I was doing jobbing work for majority of my clients, but some castings were tricky and in which I was getting good amount. For example, there were very few foundries who could do bimetallic lining of white metal on gunmetal. So my foundry was one of them.
Even back in the day?
Yes,
Okay.
and that too centrifugally.
Wow. Even till today, that's still not a technology that has taken off. It's still.
Yeah, it's not a very easy deal.
Right.
It's even today it's called as a skill or art.
The tin and the lead.
Yes.
White metal, right.
So such components, such items made me good profit. But one day I realized that if I am to scale up, then I have to expose myself to banks and other financial institutes.
Correct.
And myself and my family was not ready for that. Because that was when I was 35, 36. I was already into foundry for about 10 years. And already my consultation business had started. So I was doing foundry as well as consultation hand in hand. And I was getting a feel that I am not a trader by birth or by virtue. I am a better teacher. I like to explain things to people in the way they can understand it better, they can digest it better. And if I possess that skill set, then I am killing that skill by remaining into hardcore business. So it was easy for me to move ahead, to migrate from manufacturing to consultation.
Right.
And as I said, when it took off very well. And I do not look back now. That some people say that, do you repent on closing your foundry or shutting it down? No, I don't. I am happy with all my decisions, and I am even today enjoying the name, fame and glory which I am getting in the current consultation business.
Correct.
See, my entry to the foundry line was like a chaplet wala Bam, which was the identity given to me by my father. So that identity belongs to my father's efforts. And today people know me as a good consultant in foundry industry by my name.
Which you have built all for yourself.
So that's, I would say that's my earning.
Correct.
And in the same field of foundry, I could get a separate recognition apart from my father. I would say that's the biggest takeaway for me, that my efforts are giving me recognition in my name. And if you call it a happiness index, yes, I'm getting it.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That trumps anything that any financial gain.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So you get started with consultancy. This is 2007, 2000.
Yeah, I started. I got the first assignment in 2005 or 2006.
Right. Right.
And that was in Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not local. You jumped directly to Africa.
Yes.
What is Kenya like today? Just out of topic, like what is the foundry industry?
I haven't been there for ages because that assignment was only for 2 years.
Right.
Those days, the nearest lab was in Nairobi, which was about 8 hours by drive. If you break your hacksaw blade or a cutting tool, the nearest shop to get it was in Mumbai or in London.
So very challenging.
Very challenging conditions.
Right.
But the owner of that foundry and the staff, the workers were very cooperative. It was a small foundry, equivalent to my foundry size, maybe slightly bigger than that.
Not running today?
No.
Not running today.
It was, the owner found it not viable, but
Right.
it was running for maybe till 2011 or 12.
Okay.
I met them in Ahmedabad IFX.
Right.
So that time it was about to get closed because they were suppliers to sugar mills in Kenya. The mill bearing was their main item. Somehow it happened so that after getting expertise under my supervision, their bearings were so durable that they lost their business. There were repeat orders were not coming.
That's
so it
a
was
challenge.
not viable to run that foundry.
With any wear part, that's
Yeah.
also a challenge where there's corruption involved. Yeah.
So it did not remain viable to run the foundry.
Right.
So later on now they are importing castings from India.
Correct. So let's move on to present day.
Yes.
Right. You got a lot of experience through consultancy, your various travels around the place. If I were to ask you today, what are some general trends you're seeing in aluminium today? Like where's the industry going? We're fast forwarding a lot, I know, but where is the industry today?
We are sitting on a, what I can say, on a rocket.
Okay.
It's about to get fired.
Do we have our seatbelts on?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
Because the worst thing is if the rocket takes off without us.
Then my appeal to everybody, aluminum industry is growing at least twice the acceleration of ferrous industry. Everybody is growing in India. Ferrous, non-ferrous, everybody is growing. Because last 2 years we were blessed by this China plus one policy. And now make in India and our domestic consumption is sustaining ourselves to those kind of production pressures. Even after the Trump's tariffs, I am seeing optimism in the foundry industry. All my clients, even those who are exporting their products to USA, maybe 60-70% of their output was going to USA. They are maybe right now 80% back on track without USA. They say that my customers have told us to put it on hold. They expect it to ease out by Christmas or by New Year. But even now without US, we are comfortable. We found another markets in other countries. We found domestic market. We changed our product mix and we are back.
So there is that much
schemes.
of demand.
Yes.
But what about someone, maybe if like a Ferrous Foundry is watching and they're deciding to maybe like through the BAM recommendation to set up an aluminum foundry, is there still that demand for them, or is it just inherent aluminum foundries increasing capacity?
Demand is for anybody and everybody.
Okay.
See, even today we are importing a lot of goods from China. It's not so that we are fulfilling our own domestic demands.
Okay.
And aluminum is everywhere. You have to create demand. For example, talking in a broader sense, this frame particularly, it's brass casting. So non-ferrous casting is sitting in your living room. A lot of aluminum casting go into your kitchen,
Correct.
your white goods. Every knob of your mixer, every body of your mixer grinder is aluminum casting. The burner of your stove is an aluminum casting or a brass casting. The hot plate rest on your dining table, if it is not wooden, it's aluminum casting.
Right.
If you go abroad, then there are decorative grills placed beneath the doormat. Those are cast iron castings, used to be cast iron castings, but now it is replaced by aluminum casting. You are getting aluminum cast furniture, outdoor furniture, as well as there are few venues.
Right.
For example, if you had been to this German bakery at Powd Road, the furniture is aluminum cast.
So what you're saying basically, it's not only industrial castings.
It's not only industrial casting, aluminum is everywhere. You have
Everywhere.
to find a product to sell it.
Correct. Okay, that's a new perspective on things.
Yes.
Yeah, because
And if people are under impression that aluminum is a highly profitable business, especially the Ferrous Foundries, they feel that aluminum is sold at 3 times the price. But yes, the alloy itself is 3 times costlier.
correct. In fact, it's a good time to go into that. So, what do you think some other misconceptions that Ferrous Foundries have on aluminium?
The first misconception about aluminum is that if aluminum melts at 600 degrees Celsius, why is it consuming more energy than the cast irons?
Correct.
The answer lies into its thermodynamics. From taking something at room temperature to its melting point, energy input is required, and it is defined as a specific heat capacity. So how much energy does an element require to take its temperature from room temperature up to the melting point is the specific heat capacity, and its units are energy unit, that's usually kilocalories or joules or kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin.
Right.
Now,
I think you told me
Another-
it was something
yes.
like 0.221, if I
Yes,
remember, or
yes,
211.
yes. So
Almost
for
double.
aluminum, the specific heat capacity is 0.22 kilocalories per kg degree Kelvin.
Right.
And for cast iron, it is 0.11, half of it.
Right. So that explains why.
That explains why aluminum requires more energy to reach to its melting point. Again, another form of energy is required, which is called as latent heat, because the material remains at the same temperature and then it transforms from solid to liquid. So that liquefaction heat energy is latent heat. Then once it comes to the liquid stage, we have to raise it to pouring temperature. Then again the specific heat capacity of the liquid aluminum. All these 3 heat capacities put together give you the exact amount of kilocalories required to take it to that pouring temperature.
Okay.
And these quantities, these properties are double that of cast iron. So it requires more energy to melt and cast. Second misconception is that aluminum casting is a highly profitable industry.
Isn't it?
See,
You
casting.
just said you made a lot of profit running your
I
aluminum
did.
foundry.
I did. But that was in niche items.
Correct. So if I had to
Every
ask
niche
you,
casting, let it be in aluminum, brass, bronze, or cast iron, it attracts premium.
okay,
So there is nothing hidden in it.
right, because of the volumes, because there's less supply.
Now, if you think about top 3 markets or marketplaces for aluminum casting, the largest one is automobile,
Same as ferrous.
same as ferrous.
Okay.
And everybody knows how good or how bad the auto buyers are in terms of payments, or how good paymasters they are
Or margins.
for margins. They pay on time, yes. They buy in volumes. But they put the supplier in liquid oxygen.
What if there are some supply chain people watching over here, and they, like, next time we'll corner Mr. Bam and show him.
It's a fact. It's a fact. And why I call it liquid oxygen? The liquid doesn't allow them to thrive, and oxygen doesn't allow them to die. So it's a status quo, and any supplier to auto industry can grow only if he does savings in the given process. That's the only way left to make more money.
So more efficiency and less
Yes.
less on the.
You have to be more efficient. Your operating equipment efficiency should be more than 100%. So if a particular thing is designed to deliver you 100 castings, then you should try to get 105 castings out of the same system. Those 5 castings will give you better profitability. Otherwise, auto industry, there is zero profit as such, practically. Whatever you earn,
goes back in.
it goes back in.
Right. If I were to ask you today, say you're running a Ferrous Foundry, that's maybe an automotive, like
Yes.
most Ferrous Foundries, and you wanted to diversify to aluminum, what would be your first industry pick? Because it's very easy to say, okay, automotive, because you have the same customer. But
Yes.
would you go that route, or would you look for another industry?
Every industry has got its static load, or you can say that basic prerequisite wherein you can achieve your break even. So my advice or my suggestion to everybody who wishes to come to aluminum casting industry is that first ascertain your buyers. If you are not ready with about 20 tons a month of assured sales, do not think of entering aluminum casting industry.
So minimum you would say at least 20 tons a month.
15 tons to 16 tons is the break even, and since you are coming into industry, naturally you want to make some money. So minimum is 20 tons a month. If you don't have that much market in your hand, please wait for the time to come. Usually it takes about 1000 days or 3 years to learn, earn, conserve, and tend to grow into any business. In those 3 years, sometimes you incur profit, you make good money, sometimes you incur losses, you lose money. But after that, the business or any manufacturing activity goes to autopilot mode.
Correct.
So those 3 years you have to sustain, and for that the sustenance load, sustainability will come only at 20 tons a month.
Okay. So that's your like.
That's a bottom line. I would
Say if I were to ask you, like in all casting businesses, you have your metal, your raw material, you have your energy, and you have your which is I think contribution.
Right.
So what would that be for maybe cast iron today? Like let's just say ductile iron, and what would that be for aluminium? What would that difference be?
See, when you say the percentage, they are more or less same. In cast irons, the scrap or pig iron is the material.
Correct.
Raw material. That takes the major chunk. Then energy is the second largest contributor.
How much would that be for a cast iron foundry roughly per kg?
Roughly per kg it will be say maybe 2 units.
So 20
start
bucks.
to finish. Yeah.
20 bucks roughly. We're in Maharashtra, we pay the highest.
Yes.
22, 24. Yeah. So that would be something around 40 plus 22, roughly about 60.
Correct.
Okay. And what would that be for aluminium?
For aluminium, it's the same thing. About 2 units for a casting, 2.5 units for a heat treated casting.
And 290, 80 for aluminium?
Yeah, 280 around.
280 for aluminium. So around 300 is your sort of metal plus energy.
Metal plus energy.
Energy. Right. And what about the labor on top of that? Now, I
The
think
thing is that catch labor also is equivalent, because aluminum industry, aluminum casting industry, especially gravity die casting and low pressure die casting and pressure die casting are highly automated. So the productivity per person is very good, equivalent to HPML in cast irons. I have seen good foundries making 4 tons per man per month in aluminium.
4 tons per man.
Yes.
Wow, that's a very high productivity.
There
per
is a
worker.
foundry in Ahilyanagar, Maharashtra, which is making 100 tons a month, and they have 24 workers, 1 watchman and 2 partners and 2 staff. That's all. So that's the maximum productivity which I have seen in aluminium.
Right.
But average 1 to 1.5 ton per man per month is what
You should aim at.
yeah, it's a
Right.
industry standard, I can say.
Also, since we're on this subject, what would you say is a small, medium, large cast iron foundry, and what would a small, medium, large aluminum foundry be like? Just so the viewers can understand what tonnage they're actually aiming at.
That's a tricky question. Anything less than 100 tons a month
With cast iron.
with cast iron is considered to be a small foundry.
Right.
100 to 300 tons a month is considered as a medium foundry, and more than 300 tons is a large foundry.
By your definition, roughly.
By overall thumb rules.
Right.
In real terms, giants like Srinivas Foundry or AKP or Ghadge Patil Industries or these people who make thousands and thousands of tons a month, in real case, those are the big foundries. Anything less than 1,000, 300 to 1,000 is a medium foundry, and anything less than 300 is a small foundry
Okay.
with a larger backdrop.
Right. And what would that be for aluminium?
For aluminium, anything less than, as I said, 20 tons per month is a small foundry.
Right.
20 to 100 is a medium foundry. Anything 100 plus is a big foundry. But there again, there are some players like Endurance. Endurance has got foundries in, I think, about 17 locations. They have a foundry in Italy as well. And last heard their tonnage was about 20,000 tons a month.
20,000?
Yes. Or maybe more than that.
Okay. Huge.
Huge. That's huge. It is.
I mean, by cast iron standards, that would be huge.
It is, indeed.
Amazing. So, what do they make?
Anything and everything. The smallest casting they make is probably the brake lever of a bike or a cap of the master cylinder, which may be weighing about 80 grams. And the largest casting which they make is probably a cylinder block for a car. Alloy wheels, they make a lot of them. So these are giant companies.
Right.
Jai Hind Industries, Alicon, big ones.
So, just a flip side of that.
Yes.
Now, if a foundry is really motivated by Mr. Bam's praise on aluminium and optimism, and maybe they want to switch to aluminium, right? Do you think that's a good idea? And if yes, how should they initiate their process? Like, should they greenfield project, maybe through acquisition, through outsourcing first? What would your sort of option
first,
be?
as I said, that identify the market, minimum 20 tons a month. So if they are already into business, they are already into casting business, Ferrous Foundries, then they should approach their buyers. Do they want any aluminum castings or not? That will reduce the entry barrier for them.
Like an assessment sort
Yes.
of thing, correct?
Because they are already a vendor to that buyer. So getting a vendor number and all those things, registration,
Much less friction and everything.
yeah,
Right.
that time delay is out of the picture. They're already vendors. And they can start with trading initially, because there are many tiny foundries virtually everywhere. Even in Udupi, there are foundries. We know Udupi for their Udupi food, idli and dosa. But in Udupi also there are foundries who are casting aluminium in a greener route.
But wouldn't you say this also opens up a lot of competition for aluminium? I mean, if everybody...
It is there. With every business, competition is bound to be there.
So you still think the demand, I mean, the
Demand
supply is less than the
there.
demand?
No. It's a dynamic situation always. And it's market driven.
Right.
For example, last few months, exporters to US are down. But even then, they are optimistic. Like I said, many of them have come back to their 80% capacity without USA. So that proves that there is market for anything and everything. And why I say it is dynamic? Because it's moving everywhere. Moreover, you have to think of consumption per capita. And if you can say aluminum in your beverage can, your Coke or Pepsi.
Correct.
Nowadays, it's more popular in cans.
Right.
Those cans are aluminum.
Right.
If they are made, aluminum is consumed.
UBC.
Yes.
You import.
And if it goes to scrap, recycling industry itself is booming. CMR, the largest metal recycle, is coming up with IPO. That's a good sign.
Right.
That even a metal recycler is going public.
I think what you said was very important. The per capita consumption
Per
of
capita
aluminium.
consumption of aluminum should grow.
Right. I think that's the most important metric.
Indian per capita consumption is at least, or I would say at the most 10% of the world standard.
So we are going to try and put both metrics up on screen for aluminium as well as for iron.
Right.
Right, just to have an idea, and maybe if we can get, I don't know where we can get this data, but even like a trailing data of the last 10 years, I will show you if it's an incline or decline and what percentage incline or decline.
Right.
I think that's what we'll try to find out for you
Certainly.
guys.
You can get it on Google or nowadays AI tools are quite advanced.
Right.
India is a progressive country, and by making India and other initiatives of Indian government, I would say that our consumption is bound to increase. It's full of young population. Young population is demanding, and they want anything and everything under the sky.
Right. So
if demand is increasing, you have to find a ways to fulfill it.
correct.
Like you said that you got your tripod within 7 minutes. So it was delivered to your place by someone.
Correct.
So that person drove a vehicle. Naturally, the demand for vehicle is going to increase.
Correct.
So naturally, the demand for castings.
Small little electric bikes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even go for a bicycle.
Correct.
Nowadays, aluminum is replacing majority of ferrous parts.
Correct.
For the concept of lightweighting. So those who are already suffering or those who are already experienced in lightweighting, they know how advantageous it is to lightweight anything.
Correct.
And lightweighting, there are only two options, aluminum or magnesium. In India, magnesium industry is not as matured as the European country or American.
Or Chinese.
Or Chinese. But it is also picking up.
Correct.
So once you are ready with aluminum, then you can think of magnesium.
I wanted to ask you now, if a Ferrous Foundry decides to switch, right? How do they go through that process? Like you just said outsource.
First outsource, establish yourself as a good supplier of aluminum commodity.
Right.
And then once you attain sustainability, sustainable volumes,
Correct.
then start in-house.
And how do they get started? Like if they want to put up their own foundry, I mean, can they call you?
Certainly. Why not?
You can call Anant Bam.
Yeah.
We'll leave his number below. So that was impromptu, by the way. But really, you help. I think you must be getting this pretty often, right?
Yes.
Because you visit Ferrous Foundries, talking about aluminium.
I had set up 3 greenfield projects so far, and talks are on for another 2. So maybe in a couple of months I will bag at least one of them.
And you can do everything from know-how to equipment to
Yes,
to the design to everything,
including Vastu.
including Vastu. Since we are in India, that's important. If you're out of India, it basically means how do I explain it?
See,
Spirituality and alignment.
everything. Single line flow.
Right.
I have done lean management also.
Right.
I know which equipment is consuming how much power, what's its output, and based on the experience I can design a foundry in a modular way. If you require more programmers, you add a cubicle.
So you can always just keep adding.
Yes.
So space
On the
is
same way,
right.
if you require more output, you add a cubicle. So that's the modular concept of foundry design or any manufacturing activity design. And every cubicle
Correct.
is a lean layout in it itself.
Speaking of technology, what are some innovations that have happened in aluminium over the last 10 years that you've seen?
Exploiting more and more metallurgical properties
Okay.
is the biggest innovation in aluminum.
Okay.
Right now,
What do you mean by that? Like explain.
when some standard is revised,
Okay.
it
more
is
and more alloys.
it is revised for a single alloy I am talking about.
Okay.
The alloy is popularly known as hypoeutectic alloy A356 or ALSI 7Mg, or popularly known as LM25.
Right.
It's called as workhorse of aluminum industry. It's the highest used alloy for sand casting or gravity die casting or low pressure die casting. The standards for A356 for mechanical properties are revised at least 4 times in last 20 years. And this particular alloy can deliver you more than 400 megapascal ultimate strength,
Wow, that's pretty
And-
high.
more than 10% elongation
And with the weight of aluminium,
with the weight of aluminum.
no wonder it's taking off so quickly.
Yes. So I would say that's the biggest innovation, that
How are they making these properties enhanced? Like what are they doing?
controlling impurities,
Okay, so it's largely just-
enhancing the properties by metal treatment. Aluminum is a toddler baby in front of cast iron metallurgy. Because cast irons or metallurgy of iron, people know for
ages.
centuries and thousands
Correct.
of millennia.
Correct.
The Ashoka pillar is a cast body, which was cast probably 2000 years ago. And it's the only casting in the world which is not rusting.
So this technology was clearly there.
So this technology is with humanity for thousands of years. The Bronze Age, the bronze metallurgy is even more ancient.
Correct.
Aluminium is such a thing that it's hardly 100 years old.
Would you be able to tell us why this was, why it's only popular now and not before that?
Availability.
You mean the extraction from the
Extraction
mining?
from the bauxite
Right.
is energy intensive, and those kind of energy was not available in earlier days. You might have read in some books that aluminium was once costlier than gold.
Yes. I think I came across an article yesterday.
Napoleon Bonaparte
Right.
used to eat his food in aluminium utensils, considered to be a royalty and exclusivity, which is much more expensive than gold.
Your food comes wrapped in aluminium foil.
Yeah, that's because it is safe.
Correct.
As per WHO, it is declared as a safe wrapping for food.
Right.
Aluminum castings started gaining popularity after Second World War. So, unlike cast iron, which was industrialized, which was popularized by steam engines and that era, aluminum industry is quite young. So, what properties to get from which metal? And what's the effect of impurities or effect of another alloying elements on strength and all those things? Research is still going on. So these standards will further be revised.
Correct.
No doubt about it.
Correct. And the
And
demand
that's-
may increase even
and
more.
that's the
more.
wonder of aluminum, that it's dynamic material.
Correct.
A new phase of technology, the material is emerging every day. Second good point, uniqueness of aluminum is that it is 100% recyclable. And that makes it a more or a greener option to many other casting industries. Lightweighting. Aluminum has much better strength to weight ratio than steels. If you
correct.
compare steel strength divided by steel weight. And if you compare aluminum strength divided by aluminum weight, the ratio for aluminum is much superior.
Correct.
You get aluminum in conductors, you get aluminum in household, white goods, automobiles, railways, defense, energy, you name the sector, aluminum is there. So one should really think of starting a new aluminum foundry. Demand is increasing. And as I said, India's per capita consumption is so low that as Indian economy thrives and the middle class migrates to upper middle class to rich class, its consumption is going to grow.
Correct. What are some policy changes that are happening? Is the government taking any steps to push aluminium?
Yes, lightweighting, energy efficiency.
The EV boom.
It's EV boom is there, but lightweighting of anything and everything. Say, for example, your car. It might be having a 200 horsepower engine.
Right.
But why should it pull a 3-ton body?
Right.
The same engine will give you better performance if it is made lighter.
Right.
It will give you better mileage.
Even the block is
better
aluminium.
Pickup, yes.
The block is completely aluminium.
The head, the block is in aluminium.
Right.
Wheels are in aluminium.
So all this business is going up from cast iron also. It's not only...
it's bound to happen. I am happy that only the metal is changing. The process is even today casting.
The same thing, yeah. I think the casting process is something that is very hard to shake just because of how efficient it is.
Yeah, a foundryman remains a foundryman forever because although people call it dark, dangerous, dusty and whatnot.
Right.
Unless you have got passion for liquid metal, nobody enters foundries.
Correct.
And once you enter a foundry, that becomes your passion. And it's a very good fortune that you can make money by pursuing your passion. Very few people can do it.
Correct.
And I am proud to say that every foundryman does it.
Correct. Foundrymen are also some of the longest living people on the planet.
Yes.
I mean, they're all living well into their 90s. So that's a nice thing. Since you spoke about new technologies, about castings, let's talk about GIGA Castings.
GIGA Castings.
Because that's the talk of the decade right now.
That's the talk of the decade, but unfortunately it's a single person driven concept. If Elon Musk was not there, GIGA Castings could not have been there. That person thinks big.
Right.
Big, bigger, biggest, out of the box. It's not that aluminum body was not used in any car. Many cars are making their bodies in aluminum for decades. But this person thought of a single piece, single casting aluminum body. People called him mad.
With the amount of pressure that was needed.
Many die casting machine manufacturers regretted. We cannot do it. But IDRA did it. Both Tesla and IDRA together did it. And now, after that, it has become talk of the town, talk of the world. 6,200 tons press, which is probably larger than this house.
Correct.
They had to construct, rather, that press machine could not be fitted in the Tesla foundry in those days. Half of the machine was outside the shed. And there are many videos on YouTube on GIGA casting, GIGA press. You can go through it. It's worth watching. And yes, apart from Tesla, those presses are so big that unless you have a visionary who will think of making such a big casting in a single shot, that machine is a giant, means unless backed by such orders, entering into that capacity will be foolishness.
Right.
GIGA casting is there because Tesla is there. Tesla is there and it's made by GIGA press because Elon thought so.
Correct. But that also, like, to your point,
Yes.
it also opens up the door to use the press for other industries.
Exactly.
That's some
Exactly.
because structural components.
Correct.
Right.
But then the architects, the civil engineers, they have to be ready with these concepts. For example, on airport, many new airports have steel castings as their structural elements. Those things can be replaced by these giga presses.
Correct.
But then, how much is the demand for such huge castings?
And does the cost justify it?
Yes.
Right.
Because giga press is a giant. It produces a car every minute at airport structure. Are you sure that the same structure will be required every minute? No, because every airport has got its own different design. So although you require huge steel castings at those places, take example of boiler or any chemical process industry or stone crushers, mining industry, where you require a lot of steel castings. Those steel castings possess certain properties. That's why they are into steel, manganese steel or high alloy steel. Those properties you cannot expect from aluminum as of now. Secondly,
So chemistry also has to go up.
that kind of
Like as you
productivity
Right.
is not justified anywhere else. You require things in that quantity only in auto sector.
Correct.
So unless Tata or Mahindra thinks of making their own body in aluminium, giga press will not come to India.
Will not really take off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of to come to India, Tesla just opened their,
Yes.
just launched their cars. I think
They
a month
launched their
back.
cars, but
Month
unless
back.
they start their manufacturing facility,
Correct.
it won't pick up.
Right.
And again, it will be for Tesla, by Tesla, supported by IDRA. See, something new has come up, but then for sustenance, it has to have that kind of market size.
If foundries want to switch, right, talk a little bit about your consultancy and how you are helping foundries to switch and what that process is exactly, so that people can maybe reach out to you and get at least start that process
Yeah.
of diversification.
See, consultants are of two categories or two types. One is a commercial consultant and another is a technical consultant. I call myself as a technical consultant because people offer me commissions, people offer me money. You help us in selling this thing.
Manufacturers, you mean?
Manufacturers,
Right.
equipment manufacturers as well as casting manufacturers. But I stay away from that. That's not the way I work.
Correct.
If I was able to sell casting at a good price, if I was able to make money, I was able to recover the sold amount in reasonable time, then I would not have closed my foundry.
Correct.
I would not have become a consultant. So if I don't possess certain qualities, I don't possess. It's better to admit it. So I am not a good salesman.
Correct.
I am a good manufacturer. I can make good things. I can teach how to make good things. I know how to make them efficiently.
Correct.
So those things are my technical capabilities.
So that would be completely from designing the
Yes,
layout,
from layout,
as you
from
said, modular.
from land identification, location,
Right.
layout, shed design, machinery equipment selection,
Right.
installation, trial runs, manpower training.
Which we'll get into that next.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think that is where most of our photos crop up today.
There is a lot of scope in skilling. People are finding it difficult to get workers in any or all of the foundries. That's due to shift from manufacturing to service industry. If a Swiggy or Blinkit salesperson is getting 20K to 30K a month just for riding a bike, then he will not come to a foundry or for that matter any manufacturing industry,
Correct.
even for 30 or 35K.
Do you have any solutions to that? What do you think?
Automation is one of them. But then again, automation has got its own cost and it can be justified with the volumes. So
It's
if
good
you
you
have
mentioned.
volumes,
I think we skipped something. So if we look at Ferrous Foundries, we have high pressure lines.
Yes.
We have now fettling automation. What would automation be for aluminum industry?
It's already there. All high pressure casting machines, HPDC machines, are backed by trimming presses.
Trimming presses.
Yeah. So casting manufactured here, trimmed just behind it, goes to machining directly.
So what do you mean by trimming?
It's degating, deflashing.
Okay, understood. Like a grinding sort of, grinding or stamping or whatever the process is.
So it goes by stamping.
How much do the high pressure machine line cost?
It varies.
Die casting?
It varies from few millions to few crores.
Okay, from millions at the starting point.
Yeah, million is starting point. Few millions.
Few million. This is rupees or
Rupees. I'm talking.
Rupees. Okay. So that would be 10 lakhs.
Again,
onwards.
I would say that the easiest or cheapest way to make aluminum casting is by gravity die casting or sand casting. Wherein, if you dream of 20 ton or 15 to 20 tons a month of foundry, apart from land and building, you should have at least 2 to 3 crore rupees for equipment. But when you talk of foundries, Ferrous Foundries, for them 3 crores is a small sum. In aluminum, you can start with 3 crores as a basic equipment. The biggest capital requirement is for working capital because it's very expensive.
Right.
And if you say 400 rupees as a ballpark figure for the sales, then 20 tons, that comes to 80 lakh or...
Kept with the customer.
Yeah.
That is the biggest problem of the non-ferrous side, recoveries.
How much does it come? 80 lakh or 8 crores?
What is that? Let me do it.
20,000?
Quick calculation.
20,000 into 400.
One second, I don't know where my calculator is. Yeah, so that's 20,000
into 400.
Into 400. 80 lakhs.
Right. So 80 lakh rupees a month of credit. You require 1 month's material for WIP, and usually buyers
don't pay on time.
So if you take 3 months of inventory or working capital, it's 2.5 crores.
Correct.
So 2.5 crores for equipment, 2.5 crores for working capital, and about 8,000 to 10,000 square feet of constructed shed.
So what he basically means, if you don't have 6 crores, don't give him a call, right?
Good one.
All right. Anyway, now with that wrapped up, you touched a little bit about your IF activities,
Yes.
training, skilling. So tell us about that. You can talk a little bit about your IF journey as well. And currently.
IIF journey or attachment to IIF is a need-based thing. When I was struggling with my newborn foundry,
Correct.
that was not the era when internet was available or smartphones were not there. I remember when I was in Kenya for my consultation, to answer an incoming call, it was 132 rupees per minute.
Okay.
And to call back in India, it was 300 rupees a minute. So in those days, knowledge was in printed format, that's books. And in Principles of Metal Casting, which is a popular book referred by hundreds and thousands of foundrymen, out of maybe 2,000 pages, hardly 10 pages are devoted for aluminum.
Correct.
So whatever I learned through my own mistakes.
Correct. Because there wasn't a lot of material.
I know 100 ways how not to do it.
Correct.
And maybe a handful ways, 2 or 3 ways, how good it can be done.
Correct.
One thing I did was to keep notes, to keep records of anything and everything. That compilation of records created my own database. And it was appreciated by IF in those days. And I was made co-author of their first CD on aluminum.
This was in 2014, I believe?
This was released in 2007.
2007?
Yes.
Way back.
Way back.
So 2014 was when you wrote a book then, I think.
Maybe. I don't remember. I'm not so good with
I
years
remember
and
seeing
numbers.
a book.
I have released a book on cast iron also.
Okay.
Yeah. And that too in Gujarati and Hindi and
Amazing.
Marathi.
Do you have a copy here?
Yes, probably.
Okay, so if you're the first person to comment here on Anant Bam's video, you get one signed copy in whatever language they choose, right?
See, the PDF is there.
No.
I
They
can
want
send-
they want one with Anant Bam's signature.
Okay, all right.
So first person to comment here on this video gets a signed copy of the book on cast iron or aluminium with your signature, of course.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so that's a standing offer, right? You're going to honor that. Right.
I
Okay,
will.
great. Others will come after me. Right.
Mr. R.D. Chauhan was the main author, and along with me, Professor Paknikar was co-author.
Okay.
That was on aluminum metal treatment. I owe a lot of things to both of these gentlemen. I am a mechanical engineer, but Professor Paknikar taught me how to read a equilibrium diagram. As a mechanical engineer, I had two subjects on metallurgy. That's material science and production metallurgy, in which we have academically studied iron-carbon equilibrium diagram. But in case of castings, what are the properties of each phase? That was taught by hand-holding of Professor Paknikar. I would call him, he is my guru, and I am his shishya, like a Dronacharya Ekalavya. I followed whatever he talked about, and I am blessed by his eye-opening. He made me understand the equilibrium diagram of aluminum silicon. And if I do something with that chemistry, understanding the equilibrium diagram, then the temperatures, the treatments, they come automatically as a byproduct. And if you know the chemistry and the temperature, then you can predict the mechanical properties.
Okay.
So that insight I got in those days when I was co-author of that CD. Then I took the project ahead, and as a single author, second CD on aluminum gravity die casting was published by IIF NCTS. I was writing a lot of case studies in those days in Indian Foundry Journal. A compilation of those case studies along with elaborative explanation on casting defect analysis was published in another CD. So IIF put me into mainstream of compiling knowledge, creating a knowledge bank, and that helped me a lot in my consultation. My whole approach towards the problems or defects changed. Now sitting here 1,000 kilometers away from Coimbatore, a person sends me a photograph from Coimbatore with a question, what is it? At a glance I tell him, this is this thing. It's grain growth. I am not a metallurgist.
Correct.
I am a mechanical engineer. But in my journey, I am blessed by these people. That's why I can comment on it now.
Correct. So what would be your activities with IIF today?
I was chairman of Western region some 10 years ago. And even today I am a National Council member.
I remember R.C. Kotari sir talking about you and him driving all the way, I think by car to,
Yes.
where was it? He told me a story on this.
That was during WestCon.
During WestCon.
Yeah.
Right.
WestCon is a Western Regional Conference held by Western Region of IIF.
Right.
And somehow it was discontinued for about 20 long years.
Okay.
Long ago, when Mr. Shyam Arjun Wadkar was chairman of Western Region, we had Vescon. After his tenure, I was the first chairman to revive Vescon.
For 20 years.
For 20 years, there was no Vescon.
Was it lack of funds, lack of interest?
No.
What was it?
Somehow it happened so that it did not happen. But then I took it as a challenge, and with the help of RC Kothari, we delivered a good Vescon at Baroda.
Right.
And that's how I came close to Mr. RC Kothari as well.
Cool guy.
Yes, highly respectable figure
Right.
and very firm to fundamentals. Very meticulous person, and he believes in value for time, respect for everybody, and it's very difficult to get such person now.
He sends me a morning greeting every morning
Yes.
at 5:30. Yeah, he has different groups for greetings, and
Correct,
according to
correct,
different
correct.
people's faith and different people's probably stage in life also.
Right.
So without fail, yeah, very nice.
So I am blessed again that I am in his good books. I am his good friend. Unfortunately, I lost Professor Paknikar some 2 years ago, which was natural. He was quite old.
I wanted to touch on, you mentioned your family, of course, would have to be very supportive
Yes.
of your endeavors.
Yes,
Because,
yes, indeed, indeed.
You're an outstanding person.
Occasionally, occasionally I am out of home for maybe 20 to 25 days a month. Not always. Sometimes I am at home for 2 months.
Correct.
But my wife is a gem of a person who stands by me, behind me, with me, wherever and always.
Right.
Even if I am not at home, she is the strength, she is the driving force of our home.
Right.
And when I am at home, she is the most tolerant person to tolerate me.
Right.
Because foundrymen are born crazy.
Yeah.
Unless they are crazy, they cannot run a foundry.
Or they have to be crazy to run a foundry.
Yeah.
Other way around.
So yes, I am again blessed here that I have full support from my family. She is a genius person as well.
And
She
very good
runs his
singer.
music academy.
Yeah, very good singer, I've heard.
Yeah,
Right.
she is a good singer. She teaches vocal music to kids and ladies. She right now her student base is more than 60. They come here, they sit in the same place, and they sing a song.
So that's where the good acoustics.
Yes.
So, what would be your one mark that you want to leave on the foundry world, which would maybe summarize your career? Like, why are you doing what you do?
In a single line, I would say better than before. Nobody is perfect. I learned from my own mistakes. I made hundreds of mistakes, but I never repeated them. That's my impression, and that's my message to everybody. That have a principle of better than before. And herein there is a small maths. Unity is what I call as a single person's efforts or honest efforts. 0.99 or 0.999 you may say is a little less than unity, and 1.1 is a little more than unity. So in WhatsApp or what, I don't remember, during Corona period there was this example, it gone viral. In a year there are some 365 days or something like that, and you are working relentlessly in unity, then it will be some 1 raised to 365. If you are a little lazy, slightly lazy, it will be 0.9 raised to 365. And if you are slightly aggressive, you are more dedicated, more devoted towards delivering better than before. Yesterday I did 1, today I am doing 1.1. Slightly more. With that approach, it comes 1.1 raised to 365. And the difference between 0.99 raised to 365 and 1.1 raised to 365 is in multiples. I think it's 30 or 35 times more. So that's the message I want to give. Whatever you do, and it's for everybody, every human being, I would say, you should try to become number one in it. And that happens only by delivering better than before. You are into media. So you should have an aim that your media brand, Foundry Podcast, has to be number one in its own field.
Right.
You have to strive more, deliver a bit more, not much more, but you have to be consistent in delivering a bit more.
Correct.
And that consistency gives you the key, the leverage. Because the difference between 0.99 and 1.1 is hardly 0.2, 2 points. But the leverage given by
Time.
consistency of the 365 days in a year makes it more better.
Compounding effect.
Yeah, compounding effect.
Correct. That's great. I have a few rapid fire questions.
Yes, please.
Now, for the people who are not entertained yet, there's some coming. So, this could, I mean, go either way. Do you think it's easier for a fresher to go into aluminium or a Ferrous Foundry professional to go into aluminium?
It's easier for fresher to go into aluminium.
Because they don't have any biases?
Yes.
Okay.
Because aluminium works well with pressurized gating system, and hardly anybody in cast irons use pressurized gating system.
Okay.
So it's mismatch right from the concepts.
Right. Fundamentals.
Fundamentals are different.
Right. Okay. This is about the EV industry. Since we spoke about it, do you genuinely think, right? And maybe all political leaders cannot see this message right now. They can't hear you. Is it genuinely a thing to stay, or is it a passing fad? What are your beliefs on it?
EV or green vehicle, green mobility, I would call it.
Green mobility maybe.
I'm putting in inverted commas.
He's being politically diplomatic.
Green mobility is going to stay.
Not EVs.
EV can be a part of it.
Right. Like green mobility for sure, of
Yes.
course. I mean, fuel is changing, but what do you think about EVs? What do you think about the batteries having to be replaced after?
It's too early to comment on it.
Because the first
Because
cycles have not
EVs,
completed.
EVs or the present trend of EV, you can call it a passing fad,
Right.
no doubt. But again, as aluminum industry, I said that the standards were revised 4 times in last 20 years.
Correct.
So EV is also equally upcoming, emerging, new,
Yeah, of
fresh
course.
field.
Of course, that improve.
Maybe something is not tapped yet.
Right.
I give you my own example. Every laptop has got a lithium-ion battery. Every mobile phone has got its lithium-ion battery.
Correct.
My Bangladeshi client gifted me a mobile phone way back in 2012. That original model is still working. After how many years? 13, 14 years. But your new mobile phone, the battery is gone within a year.
Correct.
My laptop, the first one, again it was equivalent, maybe 2013 I purchased it. It's still working very fine. But a newer one with a better, higher configuration, which I purchased in 2020, its battery is gone now.
Okay.
So technology is driving us towards consumerism. But if someone really thinks of making a good battery, I have 2 examples at my home itself. Yes, a good battery can be made. That laptop is without charging, I am able to run for 3 to 4 hours. That's a good life for a battery even after 13 or 14 years.
Correct. Right. All right. What is one lesson you think Aluminum Foundry professionals can teach Ferrous Foundry professionals?
How to be happy with smaller tonnage.
Right.
Even a 30-ton foundry calls it satisfactory and I am doing a good business.
Correct.
You do not really need to grow to 20,000 tons a month. Even with 30 tons, you can do good money.
Correct.
Second thing, I remember here when you are comparing ferrous foundry with non-ferrous foundry, popularly all non-ferrous people or aluminum people call the ferrous people as they are coming from Lokhandwala complex.
I've never heard this. And I'm from the non-ferrous side.
And the aluminum people think that they are staying in the White House.
Correct.
So this comparison again was, first I heard it from a senior consultant who is no more, Mr. Dilip Panjikar. It was a big name in aluminum consultation, especially high pressure die casting.
Correct.
Yeah.
So conversely, what do ferrous people, what can ferrous foundry professionals teach aluminum foundry professionals?
In harsh conditions, they are running their businesses. So conditions can be harsh, they can be made docile, and you should not be afraid of it. Because in ferrous foundries, the working conditions are really harsh.
Correct.
They can be made moderate, and it's my appeal to ferrous foundrymen that go to good foundries, automated foundries, manless foundries. I have seen few of them. That wherever there is harsh condition, human interference is not allowed. It's automated. It's run by robots. There are extremes in both the cases. Accidents do happen in both the foundries. But then again, it's irrespective of any metal. It's on the mindset of the management.
Correct. If you could cast any item of your choice in the world in aluminum, what would it be?
Any artifact.
Specific.
Any artifact. I will make you a statue.
Why me?
Because I like you.
No, but I'm sure you must have thought of this, like when you had your aluminum foundry. You know,
Yes.
I think let's just carry. In fact, my dad used to do that. You remember back in the day, we had these spinning tops.
Yes.
And we used to play with, knocking each other down.
Right.
So they had an aluminum ring, in fact. And here the aluminum lightweight was counter-effective to the spinning top, right? So he took it quickly one day. He went to the factory, he cast it in gunmetal and brought it back, machined it. And after that day, nobody could stand against me, right? I mean, it's only a sad thing that I did not end up selling that to all the kids around. You know, I mean, replace your aluminum ring by a gunmetal ring. But I'm sure you thought about this.
Have you given a thought to jewelry castings?
In aluminum?
Yes.
I'm not Napoleon.
See, especially earrings.
Right.
I have seen many ladies who like to wear big earrings, but they are so heavy that it becomes painful for them to wear it.
Okay.
So if it is again made lightweight in aluminum or magnesium, why not? It's a new market altogether.
Right. Take note.
Right
guys.
now it's made in brass or white metal or some heavier material. Rajkot, Jamnagar, that belt is famous for investment casting of jewelry items. They can take a clue from this.
Take it up. Right. Right. And commission to him for the idea. Right. Right. So, what is one word you use to describe foundry life?
Crazy passion. 2 words.
Crazy passion.
Yeah. Unless you have passion, you cannot run a foundry.
Correct.
And unless you are crazy, you cannot enter a foundry. Pardon me if someone is hurt, but it's my frank opinion.
Correct.
In the same capital, it's very easy to start a mithai shop or a restaurant or a mall, it's very comfortable.
Correct.
But we crazy people start a foundry
Right.
because we are crazy and we are passionate.
So, this is a really funny one, right? Say you're at a family gathering,
Yes.
and somebody asks you, what do you do professionally? What do you tell them?
I'm a foundry consultant.
not a foundry person, because then they will see you're crazy.
Even then they look to me as a crazy person.
How do you explain foundry to them?
First of all, many people don't understand what a foundry means.
Correct.
Yeah.
We get that at the airport. He's walking around with Foundry podcast, and people are like, what is a foundry?
So then you have to go to your basics. That what is a metal casting?
Right.
Physical state transformation.
Right.
Can you not make it in some other way?
You know, in abroad, they don't call it foundry industry, they call it metal pouring industry.
Right.
I think in the US,
Yes. Metal casting industry.
Metal casting also, right. So that's very simple. You know,
Yeah.
what metal pouring industry, done. I don't know why we have foundry industry. Anyway, so,
Yes.
we just got scraped very badly. So this is a question there. What is more unpredictable, right? Aluminum casting defects or Pune traffic?
Pune traffic by all means.
I can work for that. Thank you, Anant. It's been a real pleasure. Right? We came up with this script, I think, exactly an hour back.
Yes.
On the way, and I think you've done very well. You've done your research quickly, or you're talking from experience. I think that is mainly it.
That's mainly.
So it's
Because
come
I
out
am
really
into
well.
this line for more than 30 years now.
Correct. And I think especially for anyone wanting to switch from ferrous to aluminium, maybe wanting to understand where the aluminium industry is going, a little bit on magnesium you touched.
I'm just a call away.
He's just a call away. And also this video is a lot like a dictionary.
Yes.
So I'll put it in sections where everyone can go up and down, and his number will be below. You can feel free to call him. And also give him the commission for the jewelry in case you decide to take that idea up. So thank you, Anant.
Yes.
It's been amazing. Thank you. Thank you.